Okay, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling loads better than yesterday. I mean, the fact that I'm up here is already a reason why I just have that as my high right now. I mean, honestly, no, I shouldn't say I'm completely, no longer feeling bad about what happened. For those of you who don't know, yesterday I talked about how I got in a huge fight with my mom the night before. And, sometimes I have sometimes have trouble controlling my anger. And yeah, anger is a natural feeling. I'm not going to say that I'm not human, but at the same time, I like to think I'm a little better and above that sort of behavior. It's way out of character for me. I mean, you're never going to see that thing. You're never going to see that side of me on camera, I swear. But the fact that I even do it all is really not good. And, oh, look, we got some visitors. We got some ducks. Cute little ducks. If you look further out there, you can see an albino duck. I want to call that one Donald. I really, really want to call... No, I either want to call it Donald or Ferdinand from the movie Babe. One of those two. I mean... should I call him Donald or Ferdinand? What do you guys think? I'll see if I can get a little closer to the albino duck. Hold on. And while I'm at it, actually, here's a better view of the ducks. They probably think I'm approaching them, but don't worry. See that one's like trying to swim away, thinking I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. Don't worry. I will never harm the animals, and I will certainly never hurt animals on camera. So, there you go. My act of kindness was I actually did try and make things right with my mom. On my way to see my dad, I actually got a small coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and I got those Lindor white chocolate truffles, and I went to the hospital where my mom works, and I gave them to her. I mean, I couldn't physically give them to her. I just walked up to the receptionist counter and said, "Could you please see that my mother gets these?" And she texted back, and she really appreciated it. It meant a lot. I mean, she's still a little upset, and I don't really blame her, but honestly, again, giving her the coffee and, the chocolate, that's better than nothing. Anyway, here's a little closer look at the albino duck. I actually just realized. I said if I should name the duck Donald or Ferdinand, and then it occurred to me. I have no idea if that duck is male or female. So I guess if it was female, it would be either Donna or what's the female equivalent of Ferdinand? Fernie? It can't be Francine because that would be the female form of Francis. I'll watch. Or maybe Fern? Just Fern? Like the plant, So I mean, a lot of women's names are after plants. I mean, my grandmother's name, it's fine. She's 86. She's going to be turning 87 years old in August, so I don't think it really matters. My grandmother's name is Rose, so being a girl named after a plant like Fern, that's nothing new, huh? I really. Man, that's like pretty much going to be the title of this video. Donald or Donna, or Ferdinand or Fern. I don't know. Maybe that will be the case. I don't know. But anyway, good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. I mean, naturally, my father and I had a talk about, the argument that my mom and I got in a fight in. We sort of argued a little bit too, but honestly, when guys yell at each other, that's our way of caring. Oh, I know, it's absolutely stupid. Absolutely, but that's just what guys do, Oh, there's the albino duck again. Hello there, little albino duck. Hello, Donald or Donna or Ferdinand or Fern. I don't need to... I'll let you guys decide. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, right. So we talked a little bit, and here's the thing. Whenever my mom gets off in terms of yelling at me, she really likes to cut deep. And, growing up when I was too stupid to know how to defend myself, all I could do was sit there and take it. And I absolutely hated doing that. Now, since I'm an adult and obviously smarter, I say I'm smarter, but I'm stupid enough to do stuff like this, right? And obviously I know how to defend myself a little more. So I say, eyelash, that's why it gets bad. I actually have to thank this one person who commented yesterday on my YouTube. And this person said, do you have any, hobbies to work out your anger? Like, cooking? Well, I actually do love to. Actually, this person brought up, because I do like to cook. I really do. But I responded to this person by saying, I really do like to cook. But the problem is when I'm angry in the moment, I don't have access to my kitchen. I mean, I love to be able to cook. I love to be able to work out my anger. Here's the thing. When I'm angry, I'm most angry in that moment. And by the time I would have access to find a way to sort of, get to the hobby that would make me feel better, it's already passed. It's weird. I know. It's not a very good excuse, but that's usually what winds up happening. I mean, they say pointing out your problems does not solve them, but it gives you a step in the right direction. So I definitely got to work on that. And I never name names, so it's never to, disrespect or insult or offend anybody. Oh, supposed to look at the duck again. Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure that albino duck is male, because I'm pretty sure the duck that's swimming next to him, maybe its mate, and those colors would indicate that she's female. Because remember, in the animal kingdom for birds, the males are supposed to be, vibrant, colorful, and they attract the female. And, well, I'll give the albino duck this. White is incredibly vibrant. So, yeah, they're eating stuff right now. And that's how ducks eat. They're eating. Or perhaps getting themselves a drink. I mean, water everywhere, right? Let's see. Actually, yeah, I'm positive that duck, that albino duck has to be a male, and I'm pretty sure that's its mate right over there. Right. Talking about anger. In a way, nature watching would be a great way to work out your anger. Just use the peace and solitude to, process and think over everything. But regardless, I feel a lot better that, well, for one thing, I feel better that it's been over a day since, my mom and I had the argument. So, the saying, time heals wounds. So that's cool. Actually, more seaweed. Seriously, when I was younger, and I've said this before, I was afraid of, seaweed growing up just because it looks like... Seriously, if you're a little kid and you don't know any better, it looks like it's going to grab you and pull you down. Obviously, it doesn't really do that, but maybe... You know what? How has that never been a movie idea? You go into the lake and the predator inside the lake is nothing fish related or sea monster related. It's the seaweed. How has that never been a movie idea? You know what? I take it back. I'm sure it probably has been. I mean, we live in a day of modern technology, and movies can be made very much on the cheap. So, a horror movie involving seaweed killing people, I'm sure it's been done. Plus, we live in the days of the internet, and so I'm positive someone would probably like send me a link about that. But yeah. So last night, it was just my father and I. Obviously, because of here's the thing, the fight between McGregor and Poirier happened, but we didn't have pay-per-view, so all we could do was like watch the prelims, and we saw some really good fights. We really did. But if we, because I'm convinced like pay-per-view is supposed to be like expensive, and a friend of mine told me, I have a friend who's like really big in the UFC. She told me that like it's supposed to be like $75 for pay-per-view, which doesn't sound that expensive, but I actually talked that over with my dad, and he's like, no, it's not bad, but I still don't think it's worth it. And I'm pretty sure like that's the case too. I think that's why like bars have like, that's why people go to the bars, man. They come for the drinks but stay for the action. Okay, so anyway, before last night my father and I went to church, and I actually did something that I haven't done since probably December of 2020, and I myself went to confession. I've made it no secret I am a Catholic, and we have confession, reconciliation, and I talked about how my mom and I got in the argument. I think that here's the thing. I've confessed my sins before, but I've never really felt as if anything changed. Like, I was told by the priest I was exalted of my sins because, that's how confession works. But I don't feel it. But I never really felt any different. This is legitimately, and maybe because I'm just realizing this now and therefore, time has passed. But this is the first time where I legitimately, feel a little bit better that, I went to confession. So, maybe I have that going for me. I don't know. Anyway, after my father and I went to church, we actually went to another of the 13 best spots to eat dinner on Keuka Lake, and we went to the Village Tavern. So, one of these years, I'll find a way to go to all 13 spots in a year. But right now, I'm 3 for 13. We've been to the top of the lake, been to the Anchican, and I had been to the Village Tavern. So 3. Which last year we went to 5. Maybe we'll find a way to break that record. I mean, yeah, I've technically been to the Swits, but not for a bite to eat though. You go to the Swits for I've been going to the Swits for partying and stuff. Which I mean, that's why I feel the Swits is the best at Party Central. But when my father and I went to Village Tavern, we read we looked at the menu and we read the specials, and the one of the specials was something I haven't had since the last time I had this with my father at Three Birds in Corning, and that was oysters in a half shell. We each got a half a dozen because it's $3.75 per oyster. So we just got a half dozen, and I'll never forget this. One of the very first food related YouTube series I ever watched was Stop Eating It Wrong. To this day, I still remember how to properly eat an oyster. In case you don't know how to do that, it's very simple. When you first get a raw oyster, or raw oysters, the first one you have should be completely plain. Don't put any cocktail sauce on it. Don't put lemon juice on it. Nothing. No mayonnaise sauce. Nothing. Just or no mayonnaise sauce. No nothing. Just have the oyster as is. Just have that. Then after that, if you're gonna put lemon on it, put the lemon on one oyster at a time. Because fun scientific fact for you: if you put lemon juice on any kind of raw seafood, the acid from the lemon juice is going to actually cook the fish. It's a really fascinating scientific process, and and I always thought, stuff like that's what's interests me about food, and all the scientific-y stuff about that, Anyway, and you want to add your cocktail sauce and your mayonnaise, do that. We both got crocks of the French onion soup, which my father's like, this stuff's the real McCoy right here. And it was good, for sure. Don't get me wrong. I've had French onion. There's a lot of great seriously, several of the 13 best spots I have in Keuka Lake have great French onion soup, and the Village Tavern is easily one of them. They actually use a different kind of sherry in their French onion soup. I can't place what it is, but they definitely use it. And we both got like the prime rib special. He got the 12 ounce and I got the 16. He got his with the garlic smashed potatoes. I got mine with their fries, they have really good fries. Really good fries. And it came with horsey sauce, a very good horseradish sauce, I might add. So all in all, it was a pretty nice evening. You know, we stayed up late watching UFC fights, diners, drive-ins, and dives. Avengers Endgame was also on. So it was a pretty cool night overall. Yeah. So I'm probably heading home a little bit early today just because, if you couldn't tell, it's really kind of cloudy outside. And the weather isn't even supposed to be that warm either, like 72 degrees and like this, with like a 40% chance of rain. I mean, right now it's fine. Nothing's happened yet, but something could happen. And actually, I think you can see some blue over there. Or actually, no, that's more gray that's tinted like blue. So, yeah, pretty much surrounded by clouds all day. Which, don't get me wrong, I actually really like it when the weather's like this up here, contrary to popular belief. Just because I really like how it reflects the water, kind of. Plus, no kidding, the last time I was at Bully Hill, and that's the place where I've always said is the best. Again, that's another one of the 13 places for best places for a bite to eat in Keuka Lake. And like, the sky was completely like this, and the water behind me was pretty much like this. It was picturesque. It was awesome. So, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind, clear blue sky and sunny. Although now I can actually do this. And the sun isn't completely destroying my eyes. That's really cool, huh? Actually, just a little. I could stare at the background behind me all day. See, I can just stare at that background, and I can immediately feel better about anything bad that's happened recently. I mean, I'm still probably going to think about the bad things that happened later, but this is a nice reprieve from that. See, and that's a good lesson out there. If you're feeling bad, if you really try and think about it, it doesn't take that much to make you feel better. And, again, time heals wounds, and this helps that time go a little bit faster. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms, YouTube. I'm very humble in this video for all you guys who watch and enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Remember, because I want to talk to channel, is going to be here to let you know back. Take care and make good choices. Have a nice Sunday.